Well, my phone dropped dead. I think what happened was I literally ran out of space to do my videos. So I had to delete a bunch of the older ones and continue on. I believe we dropped at Procrastinator. We're going now to Purple Aura. Purple Aura raced great the other day. It wasn't an exceptional race. It was muddy and the track was hard. She raced good, shot up the inside, and won easily. The line looks okay, 31 on the end of it, but that's not her fault. I mean, she's climbing over the horse in front of her around the last turn. As soon as I got her down to the inside, she was trotting wide open to the wire and did her work well. I think she's in a good position heading into next Saturday's Buckeye at Northfield Park. Home track for her. Next is Renegade Gypsy. Renegade Gypsy, fits a nominal as a 4 or 40, but the class isn't filling. Entered him in a class at Mohawk, didn't get in, and the class was going to be too tough anyway. Renegade Gypsy is in a position right now where his classes aren't filling at on the B tracks that he fits. It's not fair to ask him to race against non-winners of 70 and 80,000 type. That's unfair. He's not good enough to crush at the grassroots right now. He's in a bit of a funk, and I can tell you what's going to happen. If he doesn't get in this week in a class he fits, he belongs in, and that he can do well in, he'll be packing his suitcase, and he'll be heading to the Meadows, Scioto, Northfield, Plain Ridge, New York, somewhere where Renegade Gypsy can do some damage when he gets there. I'm not wasting starts with Renegade Gypsy. I do not care about the Ontario Sire Stakes grassroots program if he can't win it. Really what we're doing is paying $200 to race against horses as good or better than him. $400, yeah. So I'm not going to do that. So Renegade Gypsy, over the next 7 days, his trajectory for the rest of 2022 could dramatically change. Just giving everybody a heads up. This falls completely in line with what we've been doing and what we will continue to do. We will not race horses over their heads, whether it be Renegade Gypsy or anybody else. Next, what do we got next? Resolute Bay. Resolute Bay will race this week at Mohawk. First start will be on Lasix. It was a little hard to believe. The last start, the horse had to race on a deep track with flip-flops. Tough spot to put him in, especially when we couldn't really train him up tight because he had bled a little bit, and the timing would not allow us to put him on Lasix, but he is now. So I think his next start will be at Mohawk. Slim Jimmy raced absolutely fantastic on Saturday evening for Mark. He had really good luck with him. Not so good luck with Tattoo Artist, but really good luck with Slim Jimmy. He just texted me. We're going back and forth about the race, the big race at Northfield Park. So some bad luck there, but good luck with Slim Jimmy. 3rd and 54 in a piece. He raced awesome. Can't wait for the rest of the summer to unfold for him. I think we got him definitely going in the right direction now. Stonebridge Hikati in the stall for one more week, and then directly to the pool for him. Adeline. Sweet on Pete, very important. I want everybody to pay attention. So Sweet on Pete has had a rocky start to the year. Made some breaks in some very weird places. Going under the wire is a very difficult place to watch a horse make a break. It is almost every time attributed to soreness. So, Adeline. Soreness where? Where do we find it? Changed her shoes, put her on Lasix. Was it fatigue? Was it bleeding? Was it her feet? It appeared like it mitigated it somewhat. But then again, it happened at the Meadows. Back 6 days was a very telling situation also. So it left me wondering what the issue is. Now, Tim's veterinarian has gone over Sweet on Pete. He thought her back and her hind ankles. Definitely your back is secondary. Hind ankles, I don't know. A lot of the stuff they're talking about, that stifle, those hind ankles, that back, that's all the back end of the horse, which means she could easily be taking too much weight from the front end. Are those shoes a perfect fit or an okay fit for her? What I mean by that is, are the flip-flops keeping her feet as sound as we need them to, or do we need to maybe explore something different for her front end? And I know we had a lot of people messaging, just send her to the university and get her looked at. And guys, that is not a fix. The university doesn't train horses. They x-ray, they fluoroscope, they give you their opinion. We already know there's a lot of secondary issues with her. Where is the trigger? I would want to and think and believe wholeheartedly that trigger is in her front feet, but we will know this week. We'll make some changes. We'll race her on Saturday in the Buckeye, and we'll see where we go from there. But there's no need thinking that you're going to send her anywhere, whether it be outer space or university or anywhere where they're going to say, we can fix this, Mr. McDonald, don't worry. It's an impossibility. It doesn't happen that way. This is going to boil down to horsemanship, hard work, and having a sharp veterinarian. Dr. Lattès is a very sharp veterinarian. Our people in Northfield work as hard on any horse as anybody does. I think things will be mitigated and fixed, but I think overall, what everybody has to understand and completely remember all the time, this is still a baby. This is a 3-year-old trotting filly with not a lot of lifetime starts who is a big, heavy body. That is the most important thing you have to realize. There is nothing that's to fix that. It's called maturity and growth. So we're trying to keep her on the straight and narrow. We're always walking that line where we're trying to keep her on the straight and narrow, but at the same time, don't push her into an uncomfortable position where she could hurt herself. And I think that's the most important thing to remember. 3-Point Blue Chip is swimming, is grazing right now. So I don't know the exact timeline. I think it's very fluid. How does he look next time? The next barrage of x-rays they take, how does that that fracture line look? Is it healing up good? These are all answers for Julie Miller's staff and Julie Miller's team. I can only disseminate the information I get. I haven't got any other information yet except for he's in the pool. So we'll see where they go from there with this horse. Taiwan On, a real issue too. You talk about Sweet on Pete. Taiwan On, these are all growing, maturing fillies. This filly has had an issue with her breathing for some reason. I don't know why. She doesn't grab on crazy. I don't know why she does that. She now has an ulcer on her palate. So I talked to Scott and Megan the other day. I want to talk to them again today and say, hey, where are we at with this filly? There's a real possibility that we could enter in the Stallion Series, and there could be another issue with that throat where she doesn't have a favorable race. And I know we've had some people, again, I appreciate all the emails, and everybody wants to be helpful. I get that. We have some people talking about how it could be that mile and 53 at Mohawk. It is not the mile and 53 at Mohawk. This filly is trained down, and she is a racehorse. And if you think that she can't go a mile and 53 and then continue on past that to be a racehorse, well, then she's not a good horse. Simple as that. And I know everybody wants to be helpful when it comes to this, but you don't really know the ins and the outs of what's gone on with Taiwan On. We are working with Taiwan On. We're trying to keep Taiwan On good. We're trying to keep her sound and healthy. And it's not as easy as you believe it is all the time. You wake up and you brush them and you jog them and everything's perfect. It doesn't work that way. There's a lot that goes into racing a horse, especially like her. This isn't anything that can't be fixed, that can't be mitigated, but there is also timelines. One is the racing timeline, and two is the timeline where this filly can mature into being an effective horse. So I don't want anybody casting aspersions on the way she started her 3-year-old career being difficult on the way she is now. That is absolutely 100% unfounded and not true. You know, her progression as a horse has gone perfectly right up until the point that she left Canada. So is it the shipping that caused it? Is too much stress and being in a new area? These are all things that are possible. But I can't, all of them are unfounded. There's no information to support that. All I can tell you what is there right now, and that's an ulcer on her palate that is causing an obstruction in her breathing. It's pretty evident by the way she raced, and I think it's clear. Two things are clear. I want to make sure that that's being mitigated and decreased, and that her airway is not going to be compromised when she races her next start. If that's the case, if that answer can't be 100% yes, then she's not racing her next start. I'll just tell Scott and Megan just to send her home. So that's where we're at with Taiwan On. I know everybody wants to see ones all the way down the line in this great filly, but every horse is a little bit different. And Taiwan On, what's that?
Going 40 to 70, so
that's I just
saw the sign.
No, it's false. It's not on my card. It's not a 70.
It is.
And do you want me to break the speed limit and get a speeding ticket?
I actually want you to go back and look.
No, I'm not going back and looking. I'm not speeding. It's Sunday, and I'm taking my time. And I'm not breaking the rules, because you know what happens when you break the rules? You get a ticket, Amy, and then your insurance goes up.
Oh, you would know.
That is a cheap shot. It's uncalled for. So, whether it be Sweet on Pete having some soreness issues in her ankles, or Taiwan On having an issue with her airway, both can be fixed, both can be mitigated, but it is very important to keep in mind these are babies. So, where are we at here? Taiwan On. Twinbee Habanero has been in 2-1. We're going to go back Wednesday. I know a couple of my partners on Twinbee Habanero getting a little anxious, saying, where is he? He's there. He's coming. He's getting close. I need everybody to understand that I'm certainly not going to rush now that we've taken our time to getting him here. He used to be on the line. He used to be out of gear. He used to be put steps in. Now the horse is sound, and he looks great, and he's as strong as he was before. He's been in 2-1. We're going to go back in 59 with him this week. Then we're going to school him in 57. Then I'm going to qualify him in 58. And then I might re-qualify him in 56. So you're not going to see Twinbee have an hour race for another 2, 3, 4 weeks. You're going to hear about him. You're going to see him into qualify. And then you're going to see him race. But it's going to take some time. And I'm not rushing with this colt. I don't care about the New York Sire Stakes. It means very little or nothing to me. I want to see him do very, very good. And that's just going to take some time. So, Twinbee Habanero, there is talent there. There is a good horse there. There's an overnight horse there. There's still lots of work, races, and hopefully money to be made with this guy as we continue on the path that is his now 3-year-old career. Twinkle in Her Eyes, been bred to Poppy Rob Hanover again. I got to call Jeff Ruck back. He called me when we were in the driveway there earlier. I'm going to give him a call back and see what's up with him. I think it's too early for him to say, hey, she's in full or not. She was only bred a week ago. They're usually 14 to 16 days before they can say if they're in full. I suspect he wants to talk about Enzo Aguello. He and Steve Palermo bred Enzo. So I'm going to give him a call back. But Twinkle in Her Eye bred. Fingers crossed again with this one. Really want to see this filly getting full. Unbeatable Kemp was absolutely tremendous the other day. It did help that I would buy James at the wire. I felt good. Doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, good job. Good job.
Thanks, Amy. It's only a few days left. I'm not gonna accept your good job. Okay? Because it's too. Shh, I'm not passing any cards. Unbeatable Kemp was great the other day. One more. Hey, who's Unbeatable Kemp, Addie? Down, you saw the horsey up there? There's a trailer up there. Is Unbeatable Kemp's name Cake? So Unbeatable Kemp was very good the other day. Really happy with him. He'll go back again next week and then off to Kentucky for a little while with him. Very, very happy with what I've seen from him. Will to win Hanover, 2nd and 55. Now, what I found interesting, they put her on the front, which you couldn't do before. She's growing as a horse. And then when the horse came to her down the lane, she tried to fight him off. Again, a new thing for her. So she's progressing and growing as a horse. I think this is a horse with impeccable breeding. It's got a very, very bright future in front of her, and I cannot wait to see her race again next week. So Will to win Hanover was awesome. World for Two, a little flat. Somebody said he was poor. He wasn't poor. Horse paced 53 in a piece. He wasn't poor. He just wasn't as good as we're used to him being. He's back at Tim's now. Tim will race him next week, but been very happy with World for Two. If nothing, he's been a breath of fresh air since he arrived in the U.S. and very, very happy with World for Two. So those are all your 3-year-olds. We've talked about the racehorses, the 3-year-olds, the 2-year-olds. You get your opening. Now we're going to talk about the barns in just a minute.